Bana kuwa visited naye His Excellency Ambassador wa France to Kenya say.
Okay.
Anazungumzia bwana mheshimiwa Arnaud Suquet. He's with us here inside I say. Lakini kwamba itakuwa napiga na story mbili tatu kuhusiana kwake binafsi ukizingatia kwamba masuala mazima ya sisi kujua ufafanuzi mzima wa kongamano ambalo linaendelea. Anazungumzia kongamano la linajulikana kama nini laitwaje ile kongamano I say. Kongamano la
uchumi ya maswali.
Uchumi
ya maswali.
Feel at home, welcome.
Blue economy Kiswahili.
Kiswahili unajua lazima uswahilishe mambo. Angalau
ama ocean opportunity and diplomacy.
Feel at home, how are you?
Good.
Okay.
Comment ça va?
What does it mean?
Comment ça va?
How do you respond?
Unajua maanisha comment ça va? Comment ça va kwa Kifaransa ni mambo vipi?
Unajibu vipi Kifaransa? How do you respond in France?
Ça va.
Ça va, just that.
Ça va. Ça va ni poa.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, Excellency, at first I was discussing with my friend here about you knowing Swahili, and he told me that you don't know to speak Swahili.
I don't know. Mimi nimejaribu.
Nimejaribu. At a rate of 1 to 10, how can you rate yourself at Kiswahili?
I don't know. I'm trying to improve. Nimetia bidii.
Day in, day out.
Nimefanya kazi.
All right.
Nimeendelea kufunza Kiswahili.
Feel free. Feel at home. I know hapa ni nyumbani. Do you understand that? Hapa ni nyumbani.
This is home away from home. Mombasa raha.
They say if you come to Mombasa, raha tupo. But if you go out, it's very tricky. You'll miss the place.
Akasema nini? Kwenda Mombasa ni harusi. Kutoka ni matanga.
Kumbe ishara huyu. Kumbe mwanetu.
Okay, Ambassador, welcome.
Thank you.
So first, we know that you're coming to the end of your term.
Yeah.
So maybe some achievement that you got here in Mombasa, especially here in Mombasa. What are some of it?
Yes, unfortunately, my time might be coming to the end.
Very sad. Very sad, yeah.
But I'll come back to Kenya and definitely to Mombasa. Mombasa was actually, I realized, the first county I visited outside of Nairobi, and I'm confident I will say it is the last county that I'll come back before I go back to France.
Okay.
What we have achieved, I mean, it's been a journey, 4 years. We had this big meeting.
Right.
How you say kongamano?
Conference.
Conference in Nairobi, Africa Forward, months ago.
Right.
That we organized between Kenya and France and Africa.
Okay.
And I think I'm here also because I'm demonstrating it's just not a talk shop.
Yeah.
It's bringing deliverable and tangible results kwa ground.
Yeah.
Mandeleo lazima imekuja kwa ground.
Yeah.
So today I was with the governor,
right.
H.E Amb Arnaud.
Yeah.
And we are, thanks to this summit,
all right.
the French company CGM, who has taken an interest in shipping here in Mombasa, has agreed to provide 5 new containers to extend the Fab Lab and the training center that the Kenyan Red Cross is running here in Mbaraki Girls. So showcase their innovation. There's a Fab Lab inside the center,
right?
And you can see it's very much populated. The young people are using it to their own benefit, and so I was very pleased to commission, so to speak, this extension. So you know, as much as you want to have new projects, sometimes you need to support existing initiatives that are working.
All right. For the better understanding of the conference for our ocean conference, ongoing right away from the 11th to the 18th, which is tomorrow.
Yes.
For the person or the listener who is listening to it right now for the first time, how important is it globally?
I think it's very important because the ocean, and I'll say the ocean, and I think the title of this conference is called Our Ocean. because there's only one ocean.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't protect it, if we spoil it,
Right.
we're spoiling ourselves. This is
Very
a
true.
real common good. So I think I see two main objectives in this conference, which is, I think, frankly speaking, well done for Kenya and well done for Mombasa,
All right.
who managed to welcome, I understand, more than 6,000 delegates here in Mombasa.
Okay.
So I think first, you know, the hotel must be full, and people working in tourism and hospitality must having a great time. But beside that, I think it's an important issue for two things. One, for protection and conservation. As I told you, there's only one ocean. So if we degrade it,
Right.
we all feel the consequences. And by the way, not only coastal community,
All
everywhere. So we have a global interest in protecting the ocean.
Right.
I see that as a prolongation or a deepening of what we were trying to do like a year ago. France hosted a UN conference on ocean, and we managed to get the necessary number of states
Right.
to embark on the protection of high seas.
Okay.
You know, the high seas have never been legally protected.
All right.
And if you know, the ocean is one, so if you don't protect the high seas, you know, this will come to your
Very true.
Okay.
coast. So I think I see an importance of matters of conservation protection, and I see also the importance of tapping into the potential of the blue economy.
All right.
Because I think this is an untapped sector in most of the economy, and especially in emerging economy
Yeah.
in Africa and also in Kenya.
Dear.
So maybe as an ambassador, what do you see maybe opportunities that are here, especially in Kenya, especially in Mombasa? Many young people, they complain that they don't have work. So maybe what advice will you give them concerning that we have ocean here, ocean economy?
I think that it's first I will tell the young people, you know, pursue your dream,
Okay.
you know, be confident,
Okay.
because there is opportunities. It might sound difficult, and I agree with it, and that's why I think we are working together with, you know, academic partners, private
Right.
sector, to have also the right skilling.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
you
Okay.
need skills that enables you to find jobs and opportunity or create your own enterprise. That's what I've seen today in Mbaraki, where a
Right.
lot of these women entrepreneurs were running their own business. You know, they were
Right.
doing bags, they were doing. Some of them were actually roasting and packaging cashew nuts or macadamia nuts,
Okay.
and that creates, you know, opportunities. But
Yeah.
we need skills. So the answer is one, skilling.
Right.
And then, you know, there is opportunity. You know, I just came back from the Bandari Maritime Authority,
Right.
or Academy, sorry. And I can see you can leverage on private sector. Private sector needs talented young people, and there's plenty of those here in Kenya.
Okay.
I've seen like, you know, cadets,
Right.
seafarers from Kenya. Being onboarded on international ships for 6 months, and they become transformed and they can pursue international careers.
Okay.
So the answer is skilling, trust your instinct, be confident, and go for it.
It's clear to us that France has one of the largest maritime territories. How important is the ocean and blue economy at large in France economy and national development?
It is very important, as you said, because we have the second largest maritime domain in
Right.
the world.
Right.
It is. I'll see sitting here in Mombasa.
Yeah.
It is equally important because you may not know, but France is your neighbor.
Yeah.
We have the island of Mayotte, which
Right.
is sitting like maybe 1 or 2 days by boat from Mombasa.
All
We
right.
have La Réunion Island, and we have 1 million people living in the French people, citizens living in the Indian Ocean. So we also a stakeholder or shareholder,
Yeah.
if I can say, in protecting the Indian Ocean, because we will be affected. And so we're working with partners like Kenya in matters of conservation,
Right.
matters of protection, combating illegal fishing, for example. You know,
Right.
but whatever we extract from the ocean has to be sustainable, because if it isn't, it will come back to us. And so no, don't go for the quick wins and then spoil your environment. I think
true.
It's a challenge for all of us. I'm not saying it's but so what I can say is that these relations, also these neighboring relations between France and Kenya, is of utmost importance. KQ flies from Nairobi to Mayotte four times a week. We're trying. We need Kenya, actually. We want to in Mayotte source some of our agricultural products from Kenya, because otherwise we ship it from metropolitan France, and it's very expensive and very long. So those are also opportunities, new markets, if I can say, for people of Kenya and for people of Mombasa, to sell and export their product, being agricultural or something else.
We have too many questions because we are sad that you are leaving us. But in that case, I know Rukia is going to talk about diplomacy. So, you love Mombasa. Why do you love Mombasa a lot? I know you love Mombasa.
Myself, I come from a coastal community. I was raised by the sea, by the Mediterranean Sea. So when I see Mombasa, there's something, as you say, Mombasa ni nyumbani. This is home away from home. So I think when I feel at home in Mombasa.
So we want to give you a name, a Swahili name here in Mombasa. Do you have one?
I have a Kenyan name. I'm not sure I have a Mombasa name.
Which one?
I was given a name in Iten. Iten. It's the place where all these runners train.
So I think the best name for you is Matano. Matano.
Matano. Charo ko sawa.
Charo. So from now on, we're gonna baptize you with the name of Charo.
Charo ni nini?
Charo is a Giriama or a Mijikenda name.
So you love culture, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
From the Mijikenda people along the coastal region.
What does it mean?
Charo is just a name.
Hardworking, like someone so hardworking, you see.
I'm Chapakazi.
Hey,
okay.
High five.
I say anajulikana kama mheshimiwa huyu Arnaud Suquet. You know this name Suquet, it sounds like a Rift Valley name.
I know.
You know that?
Pronounce it like Rift Valley.
Suquet.
Suquet. But you can pronounce it. I heard my name being pronounced differently.
All right.
Suquet, yes, sounds a little bit Rift Valley.
All right. Yes.
But some people call me Suquet.
Oh, Suquet.
So you know where they come from. They call you Suquet.
Suquet, Waluya.
Yes.
All right.
Even Arabic Suquet.
Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll imagine Suquet. So, Rukia, take us through diplomacy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to address him as Ambassador or Ambassador Charo.
So what name do you prefer? Charo, right?
Charo.
Okay.
Some people say Balozi Mchapakazi.
Balozi Mchapakazi.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kwa leo ni Balozi Charo.
Charo.
Thank you. So as we, as globally, we continue talking about the conversations around ocean, increasingly on sustainability and economic growth, and there's been a lot of spotlight for Kenya as a country recently, with the current 11th Our Ocean Conference that we're hosting as a country, and at the same time culminating with Alliance Francaise EU and Swahili Port hosting the Ocean Festival that's happening this Friday. There's a lot of spotlight, not just within the blue economy, but also with Kenya specifically as a country. And we look at it, just a few months back, we hosted the Africa Forward Summit, and His Excellency the President Macron committed about 23 billion investment that would come into the continent, and about 1 billion would go specifically to Kenya as a country. Would you be able to give specifics on where this investment would go into, and if the ocean or blue economy would be one of the sectors that this investment would move into?
Yes, no, thank you. You're looking at the numbers, which is very good, when you look at these conferences, because the numbers are not just numbers, they're commitments, and commitments that will structure engagement for the weeks and months and years to come. So we're very proud, but together with Kenya, we pull off this major event, the Africa Forward, which was not just a conversation among heads of state and government and leaders. It is very much needed, to get their leadership, but we also brought, civil society, youth, sports, creatives into and obviously captains of industry into that conversation, because the number you mentioned, it's a blend of public financing and private financing, and in the world of today, the public financing is dwindling, is going down. We have to be realistic. It's not increasing. So we want to leverage on private capital, being actually French private capital and being also African capital investing in Africa. This is, I think, this conversation was interesting because this is the true sense of partnerships. It's not north-south. Yeah. It can be north-south, it can be south-south, it can be in any direction.
Right.
So out of these numbers, I think 2/3 of this 23 billion were commitments by, I would say, the French side, being public or private, and 1/3 was actually African capital investing in Africa.
Right.
The Nigerian investing in Kenya, for example. I think and if we can just be also part of this conversation, good enough. As it comes to Kenya, you mentioned $1 billion of new commitments. So it's not all what we do, but it's sort of new commitments that France has taken in terms of investing in Kenya.
Right.
There's obviously a big intent to invest also in Mombasa through the port, and today we saw some of the let's say ramification in terms of CSR with the IOMI Center, with the Bandari Maritime Academy as well. So this is quite a substantive part, but we have also embarked on a new program on digital.
Right.
So connecting through optic fiber some of the public center, being schools, being hospital, of Kenya, and I'm sure a part of it will be you'll have a coast. I mean, we don't discriminate, but I think this is national development. So yes, and then commitments of private entities to develop the blue economy, and the blue economy, in a way, it's not only the ocean, there's also the lakeside.
Okay.
So I'm pleased to see, a French investor being the main shareholder of Victory Farm, which is the first, I think, African company producing tilapia in Africa.
Okay.
Because, you may not know, but the 70% of the tilapia you eat here comes from outside.
All right. Okay.
And still from your diplomatic perspective, if you look at the recent pattern, Kenya hosted the Africa Forward Summit. Kenya is now hosting the 11th Hour Ocean Conference. And we also have Kenya as the only African country this year to be invited to the G7 Leaders Summit that Our Excellency the President is attending. From a regional and global affairs positioning, what do you think this means for Kenya as a country?
I think it means a lot. That means Kenya is perceived as a reliable, trusted partner for addressing global issues and global challenges, such as matters related to ocean, for example. I'd like to remind you that Kenya was one of the first African country to not only sign but ratify what we call it BBNJ, the treaty establishing a protection on high seas.
Okay.
So I think Kenya in those issues related to climate is showing the way. In Africa, because I think Kenya is the African champion when matters of climate change, but ocean protection, I think Kenya has taken the lead also. So, and this is not unnoticed by international partners, including France. And so that's why when it comes to giving also a stronger voice for Africa at the international table, Kenya is a natural candidate and a natural partner to articulate the African position, and we see that, as you said, from Africa Forward to G7,
right?
Because what we discuss and what the conclusion of the Africa Forward summit have been taken even today in France by His Excellency the President Ruto, with his peers in the G7 and outside, to have a conversation about reforming the international financial architecture. How do you de-risk capital in Africa? So very, very important. This is not just like theoretical conversation. It has an impact, because you may know, well, this is wakubwa. But if you don't address this, that means you go to the bank and you're going to have a terrible interest rate, and you're not be able to borrow. Or tomorrow, your company, when you're going to go to the bank and say, I want to borrow money, they're going to say, well, here are the terms. What's your collateral? So we're trying to have this conversation that can trickle down really to the Mwananchi. But if you don't address that globally, and we see, global crises have impact. I'm not saying, the war in the Middle East, we can talk about it, but, those are direct impact on the life of people.
I like that, because a lot of times when you're having this conversation with a common Mwananchi, is they wouldn't really understand that positioning of what this means for the country. When the negotiations are happening between the countries, it's from head of state to head of state, diplomats to diplomats. But sometimes to that young person who does not understand what goes behind, it becomes very hard not to see how they play a contribution to it, or to see how having an ocean conference happening in Mombasa, what does this mean for Mombasa? What does this mean for Kenya as a country? Being able to host Africa Forward Summit, what does this mean? There's a lot of backlash online, still on the same. And from that perspective, if you were to speak directly to a young person today, and for them to understand what this means for Kenya, what would you tell this young person?
I'll say engaged, get your seat at the table. And if you're not at the table, push the door and get into the room. Because if you're not at the table, you're at the menu. So to speak. And so I think those conversations have impact. I don't believe that this is just talk shops and whatever is decided or not will have consequences. So I believe, whenever there's an opportunity for the young people to speak, they should be speaking and just say, no, this is not just, this is not, and then it's upon us collectively to listen. I always say lazima misikiza sauti ya mayouth.
Youth movement, right?
I agree with you, because a lot of times when we create the uproar out in the streets or on social media, it's also because of lack of enough information to comprehend why things are happening, or to even understand when we say get yourself on the table. The question is, where is the table? How do I get myself on the table? And I think because of that gap is where we have a lot of us who are down here wouldn't really understand. So what does this mean for Kenya? What does this mean when a 1 billion investment was promised in the country? What does this mean for that young innovator within the blue economy space? How do they tap into this investment that's coming to the country? And I agree with you, there's a conversation that we actually do really need to have as a country, with our government, with all the other civil societies and private sector partners that are here. Still, from the geopolitical angle, you talked about how the positioning of Kenya in them being ideally one of the best to be able to host and drive investment, conversation and development for Africa as a region. But why Kenya? Why not South Africa? Why not Egypt? Why not Rwanda, who has actually played a key role for the last few years in trying to put themselves at that position? Why Kenya?
I think two things. Kenya has a convening power in Africa. And this is not just, it's me just looking at the facts, I'm not being judgmental. But, you have a mandate in matters of climate. So you have a capacity to rally around and articulate an African position.
Right.
And then we can, for us in Europe, it's better to have an African strong voice, than a fragmented voice. So I think the convening power of Kenya and matters of climate, matters of ocean protection, matters of biodiversity, you have a strong tradition, even civil society tradition here of conserving forest, for example. I'm thinking about the Green Belt movement, Wangari Maathai, that shows leadership. And this is perceived. And I think the other thing that I think what we see, and especially when we were preparing for the Africa Forward, it's Kenya can play this bridging role, has the capacity to talk to the global south, talk to the global north, articulate position according to its own interest, which is totally legitimate, but also having a more comprehensive vision, and speak also on behalf of Africa. And I think what we see when we were working on this Africa Forward Summit, it's also a drive to find acceptable global solutions, and I think that's one of the strengths of this partnership that we had and we continue to have with Kenya.
I do agree with you on the positioning part. I think a lot of times it's very important that maybe as a government to get to have the citizens understand why the positioning is also important for us as a country. And also when you sit on the table and you're negotiating for investment and already commitment of a certain number been mentioned in such rooms, it also becomes an important thing as you try to grow the economy of the country, which is one of the major problems that we are actually struggling with as a country and as a youthful population right now. So that becomes a very ideal thing. So as we take it back to the Ocean Conference, and which concludes tomorrow and Friday, we get to also co-host the Ocean Festival. What do you think about the festival? Why the festival? Why do we have the French hosting our Ocean Festival every single year? What does it mean? What does it signify?
I think it's a good tradition first, but we do it every year. And I want also to appreciate and commend the partnership we have with you, with Swahili Pot. I know we had the radio, but I want to commend the ecosystem and the leadership of Swahili Pot. Mahmoud is a good friend of mine. I think he's one of the first Kenyan I met when I arrived, and then we traveled the journey together. I think two things. One, matters of culture, language, and creativity are not a sideshow. We in France, we believe it's important. We have created an industry around it, and we think we can share experiences and have partnerships. That's why we have the Alliance Française of Mombasa here, and I'm actually happy to report that the number of students embarking on French language this year has already increased by 20%. So I don't know if it's because of Africa Forward, I don't know it's because of opportunities. I think though those young people, those students, understand that it's learning a language, it's opening a new culture, but it's also bringing a new skill that can reinforce your employability. And that's what we're trying to do. It's also linking French language to future opportunities, being in Kenya, hospitality sector, but being also in elsewhere in Africa, where you have a lot of neighbors that speak French. So I want to mention that, and also because I think being in Mombasa, having something about celebrating ocean protection is a natural thing to do. So I'm glad that every year we're not trying to do the same thing, but I think every year between the Alliance Française and Swahili Pot, we're trying to have a good celebration about protecting our ocean.
Okay, So I have
Right.
I have my question. Then I have like two people that are asking question, our listeners. So when history remembers your time here in Kenya as ambassador, what will you like your legacy to be?
Well, it sounds like that, I'm, how you say, if you push it like that, I'm dying,
But I know you're strong, Charo.
It's not me personally, but I think that's what we've been trying to do. I've been saying that, but I'm personally convinced it's not like a soundbite, that the most sustainable and efficient investment that a country like France or others can do is investing in human capital.
Okay.
Because that's where you're skilling, and that's the most sustainable. You give people then the way to navigate through their life. So I think that's what I will keep in mind when I leave.
Okay. Hello, my name is Christine. I'm listening from Mshomoroni. Do you know Mshomoroni?
No.
Kisauni, but you know Kisauni.
Help me out.
Nyali constituency.
Okay, Nyali.
Nyali, okay, yeah.
Okay, Nyali. Let's say Mkomani Nyali. Okay, what does diplomatic influence mean in simple terms?
Diplomatic influence?
Yeah.
Nowadays I think, influence is measured by partnerships.
Okay.
It's not just a one-way street. It's the partnership means the two parties or more needs to find a mutual interest in cooperating.
Okay.
So that's how I will measure. Are you having strong partnerships, or are you having partnership that needs to grow?
So let me now talk about the World Cup. You support
Team France. Unajua Team France ni nani? Ni Jogo.
No, there's best team. I'll advise you to go Portugal. Okay, try it.
That's your team.
So how can we connect footballers from both countries? PSG. Yeah.
Well, I think I noticed that actually PSG made an entry in Kenyan houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have half of the country supporting Arsenal, half of the country, I don't know if they were supporting PSG or they were not supporting Arsenal, if I put it that way.
Yeah.
So, let me be very diplomatic on that. And so I like Kenyans to take an interest in the French league, because what I noticed over the years is that football is an identity here in Kenya. You come from your community,
Very true.
and then you have your football Premier League team. So if we can impact that and bring, if some Kenyan can support some French clubs, I think we'll have done some progress.
So as you conclude your diplomatic journey, Mwesh, what will you miss more about Kenya and its people?
Especially Mombasa.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll miss is the people.
All right.
And the energy, the vibe.
Yeah.
Ikofai, mcheche, So I think that's what I will keep, beside the beautiful landscape before, it's more the smile of the people, the energy, the fact that people wake up and rise every morning and say, we're going to make it.
Right.
I think that's what I'll keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, one day maybe I'll visit France.
Sure.
I'll have a wife there. So hopefully when I'm there, I'll find people speaking Swahili. You'll teach them, right?
Yes, I think you'll find some people speaking Swahili, but I think you should try to speak French as well.
I know French.
Okay. Il faut parler alors.
Comment ça va?
Comment ça va? Ça va bien.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Coupe kubamba. Wait, but French is hard, It's really hard, French.
No, it's not hard.
Huh?
No, it's not hard. Come to Alliance Française. Give it a try.
Right.
Okay, Alliance Française. Okay.
So what maybe the last message you can leave to the young people along the Kenyan coast concerning maybe building the future and maybe changing the world?
Well, I think you will change the world. That's the future is yours. And And I'm sure you'll find opportunities. I think Africa is young, Kenya is young,
right?
And innovation usually comes when in society where you have young people. So definitely you'll shape the world. And as France, we want to be a partner of choice.
Oh yeah.
What food do you love most in Kenya, especially in Mombasa? What kind of food?
Pilau na biryani.
Jaribu sema ugali.
Ugali, lakini you're talking about Mombasa. Mombasa is pilau,
chapati maragi ya nazi,
samaki ya kupaka, this kind of thing. Biryani, yes.
Na in Kenya, Kenya?
In general, in Kenya, mbuzi choma.
Kuisha. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. We would like to appreciate you for your effort in bringing about youth involvement, development, innovation, climate action, and blue economy in Kenya as a country, and also strengthening the relationship between the two countries, that is Kenya and France. Thank you very much. As you come to your conclusion of your diplomatic mission in the country, we hope to still connect with you, stay connected, work on enhancing development, and really just being friends. Anytime you're back in the country, please reach out to us as well on that aspect. And just to conclude on the same, we hope to see you again on Friday at the Our Ocean Festival that is happening at Swahili Ports Hub Foundation. And closing on, the future of the coast lies at the intersection of its people, our ocean, and the ability to innovate. So thank you very much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
And for allowing us to brand you Ambassador Charo for this
Asante sana.
You have that name, Charo.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll keep it with me, even if I leave Kenya, I'll still be Charo.
And when you come back, this is the first place that you'll visit here at radio.
Sure.
Okay.
Deal.
So let's do this. I want to sign out. I'll say my name. Munga, he says his name. CJ, and you say Charo.
Dama.
Sawa. Bwana niite Munga sauti tele msikilizaji, siku zote nimekuja na nguvu za kulaka.
Niite CJ Bawaziri, bingwa wa viporo.
Mimi ni Charo.
Na mimi ni Dama.